Hello everyone, just to introduce myself, my name is Cable Matrix and I'm trying to develop a little fun racing game. I have a couple of friends helping me with this, so I hope it's going to work. Um, if I'm speaking bad English, I'm from Germany, so I'm just trying my best. I'm trying to make this a community project so everyone can help, because I'm not that good at texturing and modeling. And I've already began coding, and the problem right now is just the collision detection. After I've done that, the basic physics are done. Yeah, what I can already show you what I've done. Please don't look at the console, that's just a mess what's coming out there. What I'm using is Java and the lwjgl library. I don't know which version it is right now, with slick utils and PNG decoder just for decoding of pictures. And I have my little physics folder here. These three folders are actually from ThinMetrics. He sent me the collision code he used because I wasn't really good at this. And here in Sweep and Prune, you can find my collision code. It's done pretty poorly. You can see here is loads of math and vector transformations to other spaces, and yeah, it's just a little bit of testing right now, and it doesn't look good, but I'm trying my best, and I hope that you guys can help me with creating the 3D models and stuff, and I will try cleaning up the engine. So I have my little source folder here, and maybe you know these folders. It's created after the engine of ThinMetrics. I'm going to put that in the description so you can look this tutorial series up. It's really done really well, and it helped me a lot. I actually created a project for my physics class, and yeah, I can tell the story some time. And I created a little game engine. This is in this working set, and yeah, the name is Bitrace currently. Don't know why, it just felt like it. And yeah, I have basic stuff here. Server test is nothing special. This is just a little bit of trial and error with client and server communication, but I'm just going to show you how it looks right now. So Galaxy Quest was the name of the game I tried to create, and this is my little model. It is really bad, and what's basically what I've basically done is I created a model of the DeLorean of Back to the Future. I'm a huge fan of these of the series, and yeah, it's not textured in any way. It's just I downloaded a texture of something silver in from Google and just put it over there. So the UV mapping is just the whole thing mapped over the UV map. I would suggest, if you want to know learn about lwjgl, check out Matrix series. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know if I'm going to create one, because he can do that much better. And yeah, I'm not going to get any money off this, and my friends also not. Um, if this project is successful, the only money that we get is from the selling of this game, and this money just goes into a bank account, which we use as the bank account for the servers, because this is an online multiplayer game, or at least going to be, and the whole money that we get from this game is going to go on this bank account, and we are trying to yeah, pay for the servers in this way. And if we sell too much of the game, so there's no regulations on that, so don't worry. We're just going to keep that money for now, and if we don't sell that many copies of this game, we're just going to have this as a little buffer for bad times. So yeah, I just created a little terrain, so you can also learn how to do that in thin mat. I'm just going to say thin matrices because I think that's how to say it. It's a little bit large, and my coordinate system is a little bit off because maybe I've made the distances too far, and yeah. So I'm from Germany, that's all I need to know about me, and yeah, I know the other videos on my channel are German, but I decided to now do them in English, because I think the videos are going to get to a much broader audience, and much more audience, so maybe this project is going to be a little bit more successful. I created a little track using multi-texturing. You can see that here. I'm just going to show you a little test drive of it. And yeah, this tree is going to get removed. It was just a test for the collision detection, which obviously not works right now. So you're starting here. I'm going to change that later. That's just a placeholder. And this track is not going to be used. It's just a test. So you can drive around here, and if it seems slow, yes, it is right, because I don't got the card physics to work, so this is just a little bit testing. What I've done is, if the card scales down, the speed of the card and its velocity and all of that is also slowing down, so that's proportional, and I think that's better. And what's also happening is the distance of the camera to the vehicle, to the car, is also proportional. So if I scale the car up, which I can't do right now because I need to change the code for that, is going to get scaled with the card. So there's nothing seeming to be off. So, and this here was just a test for mud, but it didn't really work, so I just kept it there because I was too lazy to remove it. Here's just a little bit of particles. I'm going to add a texture to them once I'm ready with I'm done with the physics, and they are just a little bit, yeah. Maybe you know that in Formula 1 they may sometimes have these. I don't know how to say that, but fire coming out of tubes or confetti, and that's just supposed to simulate this. And I think the particle system should only pop up after the race has been finished. So I hope you guys can help me create this. And yeah, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the code because it's really interesting. And once again, shoutouts to Thin Matrix, because I'm not that good with this kind of programming. I'm making more of math programs. So yeah, I hope I can get some people to help me with this project. My friend already helps me with this, and I'm personally the person who codes, but because I tried to get to say my friend what I need, but it wasn't really that easy, and I'm not that good with teamwork if it's about programming. So I just decided that I would code that, and after I've got the physics working, it's just a little bit about polishing the code up, making it easier to add stuff, and then just adding all the graphics and 3D models. So I'm just going to close that now, and carb is just a little bit of garbage. That's just that's almost a year old. Main game loop is my main game loop, obviously, and this is the tree position and all that stuff. And entities, I've got a camera, the entity, the player, and the light in here. Then extras, this is from my old project, font mesh creator, font rendering. This is all thin matrices code. GUI is also. Hollows was a terrible attempt of mine to create a hologram that just, yeah, kind of floats in the air and is just standing there. It didn't really work, or I at least didn't try it, I don't know anymore. Here are the models with raw model, textured model, and particles. Yeah, that's all. Then render engine, there you have the display manager. Here is the Galaxy Quest. I can change it to bitrays. Yeah. I think I said it at the beginning, but I don't know why I named it bitrays. Just felt like it, and yeah, so it's named bitrays. And entity renderer is basically a lower key of the renderer. The master renderer has this cute command called render scene, and if I call this with all these attributes, then this is going to call the lower key renderers, and yeah, it's just a little bit easier to organize. The obj loader is also thin matrices code. I will just say thin matrix code. Sorry for that. The terrain renderer is also a lower key renderer, which is supposed to render the terrain. And what you can see here is multi-texturing. This is actually, if I'm going to look here in resources, I can show you something what this is. Show you what this is doing. What you can see here is the blue stuff is the finish line. So on the terrain, if you map this onto the terrain, the blue stuff is going to be the finish line. This here is going to be the mud, and the red stuff is the road. I just took an image of a road from Google, and the rest here, this black stuff is just grass. So these textures for the road are getting passed through, and the blend map also. And yeah, this is just everything for the renderer, so I'm just going to close these again. By the way, in my old Minecraft tutorials I had a really bad laptop, so now I have a little bit better PC. I have 8 GB of RAM, and yeah, the rest is not important. I don't want to flex with it, so yeah, who cares. Shader program is just a little or a little complex code, which is an abstract class, which is going to be implemented by every bit of shader code we have here, like terrain shader, static shader, and everything like that. And they just do the stuff of loading up the uniform variables and yeah, all of that stuff. So here are this is a regular fragment shader. They are also existing in TXT version. Now I changed it to GLSL. The vertex shader does the calculations on a little bit of light. I don't really understand all of the light calculations. World position is just the vertex that's getting calculated, transformed into the global space, and also really useful. So Skybox is just a little bit of shader code and all of that again. Also, this is from Thin Matrix. Text is I actually wrote tracks wrong there. It is an old attempt at saving track data, but I'm just going to leave it because I think it would be better that they have a file, and this file is named track1, and in this file, this is probably a JSON file or an XML file, that just contains the whole track information, but I'm going to have to spend a week working on that. So the last thing is water, and also from Thin Matrix, it generates a really cool water effect. And yeah, you can see that working here. So that wraps it up for the code. This is going to change again, and physics, I can show you this once, but it's a little bit tedious, and it took me really long to create. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, then just write a comment, and I hope you all have a great day, and goodbye.